Before you
What?
continue, I want to point out. Nice.
Wait, what?
The
Is there
69.
a 60? Ah! Yes.
Whatever. Hey everyone.
69 jokes.
I am Yul, and these are my fucking idiots.
And we're still giving ourselves intros. Also, 69 nice. Ha 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 ha. Anyway.
Yeah, the 69 gun just ran fucking dry, guys. Stop.
Never mind. No, there will never be enough room for 69ing. Look at that guy.
Take that how you will.
Actually, I find
Engineer Isaac, like the number 69 a lot. What the fuck?
Motherfucker!
Insert the clip. Insert the clip. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Motherfuckers!
Yes, that clip. Yes, that clip. Legon, this is up to you.
Don't worry, editing me will handle it. Isn't that right, editing me?
Editing me, Ada sure.
If you don't put up a piece of text there, I'm going to assume you didn't get the message.
I really can't wait to see the fucking video.
Oh, what a perfect time to play that clip.
I really cannot wait.
That guy didn't get the memo.
He forgot that the clip was him going into space, not onto the spaceship.
Not fumbling into a wall. One of my other favorite details about this game, and these sections make it very unique and interesting. But it's like when you chop their limbs off, they go floating into space. I think that's really cool. And Yule is bumbling around, wasting his time.
Engineer, not know what oxygen mean.
Engineer limitless.
Fucking game. I think it's over there.
Engineer don't know how to breathe. Sounds like Darth Vader. There we go.
Narrow. Stupid loading times!
We were also just saying you can't really basically go, yeah, my loading times are better than yours, and then immediately complain about them now.
My save times are better than you console peasants' fucking loading times! I'm literally dying of oxygen loss, you fucking loading time. Man, if we go into space in real life,
no
man,
kidding,
like,
no kidding,
a genuine complaint for loading times.
No kidding though. You can actually die if the game doesn't load in time. This issue happened a lot. This issue happened a lot in the 360 version, and it was fucking hilarious.
It is pretty funny, but it can get. I'm glad that the PC port ups the load times at least, because that can be a pretty annoying issue after a while.
Oh, this is going to be an issue after, like, later.
Yeah. Because it requires you to complete puzzles that take a little more time in Oxygen in a specific time, and it's like, the idea of Oxygen should be that you have enough time to really make it with ease. Not
I am going to assume that the
breathe.
enemies within those giant web things, I don't know what that is, are basically like the Crimson Heads in Resident Evil Remake, where they come back to life if you leave them alone.
Yeah.
Or they could be like proper Resident Evil room zombies, where it's like you can mess with them and they won't move, but after a certain event they'll trigger.
Speaking of Resident Evil, there was also this thing about a VR game in Japan that is basically going to be a prequel to Resident Evil 7.
Interesting, but Resident Evil 7 is starting to become the Final Fantasy 7 of Capcom, where it's like, man, just leave it alone. Stop expanding it.
Make Resident Evil 8, not 7.2.
Right.
Honestly, I'm not against the idea, but once again,
I'd be against it if they were milking it as much as Atlas is milking Persona 5.
But honestly,
let me correct you there. As much as Atlas has milked every game since 3.
The problem I have with that, the problem I have with what should I say? The problem I have with the Resident Evil VR game is that it's apparently just going to be exclusive for Japan, even though it's a prequel to Resident Evil 7.
I can actually argue, yeah. I can say that that's kind of annoying. It's like if you're gonna do it, at least release it, you know,
Yeah,
worldwide.
it's popular worldwide, so why the fuck would you just release it? Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
There's another one of
I
these
feel like
fuckers.
Capcom has Japan studios in general have very hard to break habits with their business practices.
Yeah.
You know, Mother
Like,
3
we already
being the
had
biggest
enough
tragedy of all of
problem.
it.
Yeah, there's already the whole problem of localizing Phoenix Wright, or not Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Investigations
Eat
2.
your hamburgers, Apollo.
Ace Attorney Investigations 2, to this day, has not been localized in the US.
Yeah.
And that's a Capcom
Yeah, Mother
game.
3 has not been localized, and it's the best Earthbound game. Pretty much.
Yeah, well, there are, I mean, do have Fire Emblem Awakening and I forget some other games
Fates.
that there are.
Echoes, Radiant Dawn.
Fates.
You know,
No,
we
I
have
mean,
Fire Emblem
games that were exclusive in Japan and we didn't get in the US initially.
Yeah.
I don't think Awakening was exclusive to Japan.
Yeah,
no.
It was.
it?
It was delayed to the. Well, we didn't get a. I'm pretty sure we didn't even get a release date for it initially.
Oh my fucking
For
god,
the
that
US.
Necromorph killed
Brilliant
itself.
timing.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, that
brilliant timing.
Necromorph killed itself. Yes.
I'll give you that. You froze the door right after it killed itself. Brilliant timing.
Yeah, don't worry.
Oh,
Engineer enjoy exploding dead things.
engineer has ingenuity.
Ingenuity.
Yeah, about the games that,
Ingenuity.
about the games that,
Ingenuity.
about the games that we're talking about. Don't forget that Shadow Dragon, the game that had Marth, we had to wait until the re-release on the DS.
Right.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
and
that's right. Because in the
Marth's
US,
game
Marth's
didn't
debut
even
was
get
in
a-
Smash Melee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Marth didn't even get his sequel game in the U.S. at all. I'm pretty sure.
I think it's called Mystery.
So-
I think it's called Mystery. Of
I can
Marth.
Google that really quick.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it didn't, because I remember I was talking to one of my friends who's a Marth main in Smash, and he said he got into the Fire Emblem games because he's such a Marth fan. You know?
Oh.
And he said it didn't get localized over here, but he could be wrong. You never know. I mean, no fault of him, but it's like you just never know with these, you know, translation issues. Like I said about Mother 3, at this point there is no excuse other than Nintendo just doesn't want to do it, and that's that. They just don't want to do it.
At the
Okay,
same time, you gotta
so-
consider the regional differences, cultural stuff, you know, stuff like that. It's
That's
one of
true.
it's one of the reasons
But
why
if
the
Atlas
China
can
thing. It's one of the reasons why the China thing is so influential nowadays because
At the
they're
same
basically
time,
controlling
Wheat's
everything
point.
yeah.
Well,
I'm not
here's my other point is like,
Yeah, what is it?
if Atlas can get around their differences with Persona, which is a far more culturally
And Shin Megami
controversial
Tensei
game,
as well.
yeah, which are culturally more controversial games, I think Nintendo could have done it with Mother 3. They just have decided that they probably just don't want to do it
But
at
at
this
the
point
same
because it's been so long.
But at the same time, I'm pretty sure that Atlus just doesn't care. I mean, they even released they didn't even care about the release of Trauma Center New Blood, which basically has you fighting Jesus Christ. So
Well,
yeah.
I mean, Persona 2 has a Hitler character in it, but
Yeah,
still.
exactly.
Like,
So
put sunglasses on them.
so I'm pretty sure they don't give a damn. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
but
that Atlus
at the
really
same
doesn't give a
time,
damn.
like, I think Nintendo. I mean, even the people who made the fan translation, which is according to, you know, multiple sources, they say it's pretty dang accurate, and they worked really hard on that. And they basically said Nintendo can just take it free of charge, and they don't have to give them any profit for it. And Nintendo refused. So it's like, I think there's a precedent that they genuinely don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, Metroid came back and they remade Metroid 2, so you never know. But yeah, what were you saying? What were you continue like on?
To talk back about Fire Emblem and games not being released in the
Oh my
West,
fucking god.
the games
Oh my
that were
God.
not released in the US until they were remade were Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon, and the Blade of Light, which was released in 1990. We had to wait until
Yeah.
2008 to get a DS
Yeah.
re-release.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
That's the game I was
Fire
talking
Emblem
I
about.
didn't know
Gaiden.
Fire Emblem existed that long.
Fire Emblem
Oh,
Gaiden
yeah.
in 1992, we had to wait until 2017 for Shadows of Valencia, aka the full-blown remake.
That's fascinating.
Oh,
Mystery of the Emblem. We also had to wait for 2012 to get the official release, while there was a fan translation in 2009.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, where are you getting at, Yule, in the game?
We already knew Mars. Actually, there was an anime where Mars' name was. There was an anime where Mars' name was changed to Mars instead of
Marks.
Mars.
Mars the
Mars. I was gonna say Marx. That's a dangerous line to tread.
No.
With
Mars,
a game
Mars.
about political ideology.
Mars, as in the planet.
Mars.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of the Fire Emblem games that was never, well, actually 2 Fire Emblem games that were never released outside Japan: Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War in 1996, and Thracia 776 in 1999.
I feel like one of those is probably the sequel to the first game Mark was in.
Anyways.
Oh, and also The Binding Blade in 2002.
Anyways, Future Legon, if you mind, put up the anime Mars right now.
We're online and functional.
So yeah, that's the anime that you missed.
Yeah, put anime Mars over that guy's face. He doesn't matter.
I was just thinking of that.
Wait, ship's asteroid defense system is offline.
Who, Engineer Isaac wonders, who hired this little kid?
Will be ripped to pieces unless.
I mean, I know I'm unqualified for this, but what?
Damn it! I'll start working on it from here. Isaac, meet me at the bridge. You can do more good here than I can.
And new Mystery of the Emblem in 2010 is also the first Japan exclusive game from between 2010 and 2002.
So you mean from 2002 to 2010?
Yeah, gotcha. From 2002 to 2010, there were no games that were exclusive to Japan until New Mystery of the Emblem. And then there's another one called BS Fire Emblem, which was released on Super Famicom.
BS Fire Emblem? Fire Emblem is pretty BS, if you ask me.
I know, right? I mean, just look at Marth's Tipper ability.
Stupid shield breaks.
You know, we should call this part Mars the Mars.
Engineer Mars.
Engineer Mars, yeah.
I know exactly what to make the thumbnail.
Just the Mars face over the guy.
I fucking went in circles. Great.
Good
you
job,
got confused over Mars.
Yeah. So yeah, the thing about the localizations, I mean, there are a lot of things to consider, and some companies are more, mindful than others. This is one of the.
Where are you? It's me.
Some Japanese companies are very set in their
okay, yeah. Some companies are more mindful about things than others. This is one of the main reasons why, like, for example, Tokyo Mirage Sessions, like, everybody knows about it, right? It's this really cool anime game that combines the worlds of Atlus and
well, cool is arguable, but it's a game that people are interested in, to say the least.
Yeah, but right now,
yeah, it's interesting, but at the same time, there's also the whole crowd that was expecting Shin Megami Tensei plus Fire Emblem, and that's not what we got, so they're upset.
Yeah, the problem with that, the problem with Tokyo Mirage Sessions is the fact that people are now, it's currently very controversial, because people are wondering whether or not this game is going to be censored, and yeah, Nintendo censored the Wii U version, so. Yeah, they do have a good reason to be wary of the release of this game. So
that's true, and to bring it back to the main point this all started from was like Mother 3. I don't think anything in Mother 3 is that culturally insensitive that it would justify not.
I don't know. Call it
the most that Mother 3 would get in the
I think you're
West.
reaching for a point.
The most that Mother 3 would get in the West is a teen rating, because that's really the highest it would need.
I don't know, guys. Calling television a bad thing, and calling most of humanity, and especially porky pigs, like little incarnations of pigs.
That's nothing compared to the fact that. No, I disagree. I think that's nothing compared
Persona
to
5 has a literal human fly boss.
Or literally was gonna make a point, but whatever.
Or the witches, or whatever they call the
on the note of human flies, we're gonna call it apart.
The guardians of the needles.
Okay, fuck my point then.
No, you can go ahead and make your point.
Yeah, I made your point.
No, it's end apart.
Okay, let's end
See you
this
guys next
one.
time.
See you guys next time.